on board, again, the call-in number is 646-378-1086. HR Happy Hour on Twitter, HRFL10 on Twitter. If you're down at the booth, let's see some tweets from the folks at the booth so I know you're listening and can hear us. And stop by in Sewanee Room 20 if you care to as well. So William, let's talk to you. William, what is going on? We're at this huge HR conference. This is a massive event full of HR practitioners. You know, the interesting thing to me is this is the first one I've ever been to, an HR state conference like this.
Right, regional show.
Right, and what I've noticed is, yeah, not before. And so what I've noticed is there's lots of tech vendors here on display showing off their products and services. So tell me a little bit about what's important for the HR working practitioner to understand more, to learn more, to get more sort of adept in the tech marketplace.
Sure. I think last year, possibly the year before, was more or less a kind of a GUI contest, kind of a sex appeal contest, where you know, your application had to be prettier than other people's application. So it was a little bit about features, benefits, and attributes, but it was a beauty contest in a lot of ways. And I think HR has difficulty trying to peer into software to find out what's the right fit for my organization. So what makes sense for me with the technology stack, with the budget that I have? How do I spend money wisely and not get sucked into a beauty contest? So I think that HR vendors probably need to do a better job when they're talking to HR, getting quickly past the beauty, the pretty stuff, the GUI stuff, and getting right to what is your overall technology strategy, how we fit into it, what we displace, what we make better, how we integrate and play well with others, and something that's near and dear to my heart is how do you make pricing more transparent? Because I believe that it is a problem within the entire ecosystem of HR and HCM is we hide pricing until the last minute. You know, all of us do. I mean, it's everybody, by the way. It's not just one vendor or another. But we somehow wait to the very end of the negotiation and then say, oh, and here's pricing.
Right.
And I think HR, as they get more adept, they ask those questions up front. They actually ask the vendor, where do you make money? It's okay, I want you to make money, but where do you make money? So that I have a sustainable business partner for the next 10 years rather than switching out every year. So that's a lot.
No, that's great. That gives us quite a few things we can sort of jump off about and sort of dig into. You mentioned a little bit about, you know, in the past, in the recent past, that sort of the GUI or the just let's put on a flashy show. Who's got the best flash?
Yeah, GUI. Kind of sounds semi-sexual. It's not.
Yeah.
I promise. It's graphical user interface. That's probably the less sexy thing you can
Right, but now from a vendor perspective, right? Because we've done a lot of work advising vendors on their strategies. From a vendor perspective, is it easy for a vendor to get caught up in that themselves to say, "But I've got to catch attention. I've got to make someone notice what I've got,
That's right.
And I can't talk to a customer about strategy and integration and long-term goals. That's boring." Right? I want a website, I want a performance management system that looks like Amazon. So how do you avoid that trap from a vendor perspective?
Who drives that discussion usually is in sales, because they want something that they can put in a booth and hit play, and it has all the sizzle. It's all sex appeal. And they don't want to have, by and large, not everyone, but by and large, they don't want to have real intelligent discussions with prospects where they're digging into the grind of technology integration, especially HR technology integration, is hard. It's a pain in the ass, quite frankly. And how do you tie your payroll IS to your benefits, to your workforce management, to succession, to performance, to online, whatever, all difficult. And by and large, salespeople want something that's really easy for people to look at and say, wow, that's easy, that's intuitive, that would make my job easier because it's easy to use, which, you know, let's not skip the step. Easy to use software is important, but it shouldn't be the entire discussion. And I think that as HR kind of evolves their questions for vendors, they should ask pricing questions closer to the beginning of the conversation. They should also ask for references of people that are like them, specific references. So, you know, let's say you're pitching someone with a supermarket chain. Who else have you done business with in the grocery or general merchandise industry? And I'd like to talk with them.
Right.
Because I'd like to know more about your implementation. I'd like to know more about integration. I'd like to know more about how data flows up to a dashboard. I'd like to know about how you get people to adopt. And I'd like to know your pricing up front.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that, right, anything you buy, right, even from the smallest items on the consumer side, from the smallest items to the most expensive items, there's a wealth of information readily available online and offline, but primarily I'm thinking online, right? What's the best, what's the best soda, what's the best car, what's the best place to go on vacation, restaurant reviews, right? Everybody who checks into the restaurant has to tell them, how are the cupcakes, right? But enterprise technologies, right? Massive hundreds of thousands to $1 million purchases, right? It's kind of hard to get unbiased, unfiltered, sort of unvarnished information about how those products really perform.
Yeah, and I don't believe that there is an unbiased. I mean, first of all, the analysts, all my dear friends that are analysts and consultants and thought leaders and bloggers, etc. I don't believe that there is an unbiased. First of all, I don't believe in a world where there is unbiased or objective. So anyone that actually says the words unbiased or objective, I automatically know that they're lying.
I think the word you want to use is bullshit. I hear you swear.
Yeah, we can
Oh,
swear.
nice.
Yeah.
Well,
There you go.
I will definitely make sure to cover that.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is like, it's not out, or to your point, Steve, it's not out in front of people. And the reason is it's complex. So take any solution, take Acquire, wonderful solutions that they bring to market. Their customers, raving fans. But there's a context to that technical implementation that might not be appropriate for another customer. And so we haven't created kind of a platform in which people can really both say wonderful things about vendors as well as also talk about some of the things that need work and need help. And we don't have that. I just don't believe that anyone provides an unbiased and objective platform.
Right, because if you're a human being with sort of feelings and emotions, and you walk upright for sometimes, right? You have to be biased.
Well,
you just have to.
Actually, I had a really interesting conversation with Jeff Webb last night, and he was talking about how Google is basically the job board of the world. And if you know how to search for people in Google, you can find anything. Well, I guess we could say the same thing about customer feedback in the enterprise software. You can probably find that stuff via Google, but that assumes that you know how to search for it.
We couldn't even find the room to do this show in, quite honestly.
Google didn't help us.
Right.
Yeah.
Google did
That's
not
a stretch,
help.
but
That's
I
a good
agree.
point.
You could be out there, but possibly, yes. But
I was a Boy Scout.
hey, let's do a quick reset. We're at the HR Happy Hour. We are live from HR Florida. Our call-in number is 646-378-1086. I'm with Lori Rudiman, William Tincup. Mike Vandervoort is in the room.
Hello.
Who else walked in?
Next Gen HR, Jennifer Novak.
Hi, how are
Next
you
Gen
doing, Jenny?
HR.
Welcome. Next Gen HR is here.
Tampa
She's
contingent in the house.
Great to see her. The
Slither.
yeah, well,
Snuck in.
Snuck, is that a better word?